about 5,000 miles on a new Sienna, and it's just such an impressive vehicle in every way. So let's do a grade walk so that you're pretty clear on what the standard equipment is. And we did add a couple new grades for 21 model, including an XSE and a Platinum, so that has switched up a little bit. So let's start with the LE and talk about the standard equipment, which is extensive, including standard blind spot with rear cross traffic, keyless entry with push button start. Of course, you have the dual power sliding doors. You have 3-zone climate standard on LE, 9-inch touchscreen. That's going to be the size of the touchscreen on every Sienna. 4.2-inch MID, Android Auto, Apple CarPlay, Amazon Alexa. So Android Auto is new for 21 Sienna. It's one of the last of our vehicles to get the Android Auto. So it has the full complement of technology. As far as other features, you have a power driver seat standard on an LE, which is nice. The second row is a bench seating. It has that swivel center seat, very similar to last generation. And there's a spot in the back of the vehicle to put that center seat. The third row seats, again, mechanism is very similar to last generation. It's a very easy to grab plastic handle that you pull to easily fold the third rows into the floor. They've actually made this third row seats a little bit lighter, so the mechanism is even easier to operate than last generation. Second row sunshades are also standard on LE model. So as we move up to XLE, obviously we have everything that the LE grade had, plus the sliding side doors and the rear lift gate have the kick open and close feature. So that feature we're used to from other vehicles like a RAV4 or a Venza, where you use the kicking motion to hands-free operate the rear lift gate, now does the same thing on the power sliding doors on an XLE and up 21 Sienna. So there is a little mark on the rocker panel, which indicates where you should place your foot under the vehicle. And it's not under the middle of the sliding door. It's actually kind of right where the B pillar is. So that area between the front doors and the sliding doors, you'll see a little mark there. It kind of looks like a Wi-Fi icon. Just, do the kicking motion under there, and the doors will not only open, but you can actually close them as well with the same kicking motion. XLE features standard front rear park assist with automated braking. So if you're getting too close to something and it's beeping, it will actually apply the brakes if you get too close. And the same thing with backing up. If you're backing up, it will also apply the brakes to keep you from hitting something. Integrated wide-angle LED fog lamps are standard, as is moonroof with sunshade. 4-zone automatic climate control, which is great. So not only the front two passengers can select their individual temperatures, but the second row passengers left and right can select their own climate control. Audio Plus with 8 speakers. So it's an upgrade from the base system in the LE, and that means you also get connected services like Remote Connect and Service Connect. So that's a really nice added feature for XLE, that you have the built-in remote start. Of course, Smart Key, but smart access on all 5 doors. So that's nice. And the rear view mirror will be the auto dimming HomeLink integrated type. To continue on XLE, the standard seating is a bench seat in the second row, but you can get a no-cost option captain's chairs upgrade. So you can choose there whatever the customer wants as far as their seating and what they need for passenger space. The second row seats, when they're those captain's chairs, have a super long slide feature, which if you haven't experienced it before, you can push those second row captain's chairs all the way back to the third row, and you have incredible second row leg room, just like a limousine. So it makes second row seating extremely comfortable. The seats on an XLE are soft tech, so an upgrade from the fabric. The driver's seat is power, of course, with lumbar support, and the passenger seat is also power, 4-way power. XSE. So this is a new grade, as with our other Toyota vehicles. An XSE indicates it's a more sporty model, not only in how it drives and handles, but in appearance. So the XSE will feature daytime running lamps that are LED strips. So it's that headlamp that has that LED strip, which gives it a very cool upscale appearance. The side mirrors will be black in color and of course heated. And then the wheels will be black as well. So 20-inch black wheels on a front drive XSE and 18-inch black wheels on a all-wheel drive. Premium audio with dynamic nav. So this is an upgrade from the Audio Plus in the XLE. Of course, premium audio means you get built-in navigation and extra connected services like Destination Assist. Driver Easy Speak is standard, as is a sport tuned suspension and steering. So you will notice a different handling dynamic on the XSE. I've been driving a Platinum Sienna and it handles great, I think, for a minivan. But the XSE is even more in-tuned as far as steering feel and suspension feel. And of course, a unique sport interior. All right, now we're to the Limited, which used to be the top model, but is no longer. But it does feature most of the technology you can get in a 21 Sienna. So the side mirrors will be color keyed. The standard audio system is the premium audio with navigation, but also JBL. So it's that 12-speaker JBL system that we feature in other vehicles like Highlander, which sounds fantastic. The backup camera also features a wide-angle monitor option. So you could have the standard view, but you can also have a wider angle view for your backup camera. Qi wireless charging is standard. A 7-inch multi-information display, very similar to our other Toyotas in the lineup, is standard. The steering wheel is power tilt telescopic and limited. You get chrome roof rails. The seating is leather, so it's real leather, an upgrade from the Softex. The front seats are not only heated, but they are ventilated as well. The driver's seat has a memory function. The second row Ottoman is a feature of the limited front drive only. So you remember that Ottoman feature from last generation where you basically have a leg rest that comes up from the vehicle. So you can be very comfortable in the second row captain's chairs, especially when you push them all the way back with that long slide feature. But just keep in mind, that's a feature of the front drive limited only. The all-wheel drive does not offer that function due to weight restrictions. And then additionally to the second row sunshades, which are standard on all Siennas, the Limiteds feature third row built-in sunshades. And then finally, active noise cancellation. So this actually uses the audio system in the vehicle to cancel out some of the exterior noise that may be coming from the road or the tires or the engine. It works similar to noise canceling headphones to create a quieter cabin. And then finally, we have the all-new Platinum model. So it features a couple additional technologies, including the most advanced headlamps that we put on our vehicles. They're bi-LED projectors with the LED strip daytime running lamps. The wheels will be 20-inch on the front drive models and 18-inch on the all-wheel drive models. The windshield wipers are the rain sensing type. Bird's eye camera is standard on the Platinum, so it has that cool overhead 360 view, which really helps when you're parking. Second row seats are heated, so a first for Sienna. That's standard on the Platinum, only on the Platinum model. All Platinum models will have a really nice looking, luxurious brown leather interior that they call Noble Brown. Steering wheel is heated, which has been a fantastic feature this winter. I use it all the time. And Platinum comes standard with a 10-inch color heads-up display. Also a very nice technology. So those are the standard features for those grades. We do have packages, of course. There are packages for LE, XLE, and XSE, and then we do have a couple standalone options, which I'll review. But first, let's talk about LE Plus package. So it adds, auto-dimming rear-view mirror, Qi wireless charging. Of course, the thing customers would probably really want this for is the moonroof. Black roof rails are a nice addition, but also Audio Plus upgrade from the base audio. So putting this package on an LE will give you a roof and also, very importantly, an Audio Plus radio, which has the remote connect feature. So if your customer wants the factory remote start on an LE, just put the Plus package on it and they will have that option. The XLE Plus package, again, very similar to the LE one, Qi wireless charging, black roof rails, and an upgrade to the audio system. So it goes from Audio Plus to Premium Audio with JBL. So that has the built-in navigation. The XSE Plus, 2 wireless charging, fog lamps are added. And again, the audio system is upgraded to the Premium with the JBL. So it's adding the JBL system. And then as far as standalone options, there are just a couple to mention. The digital rear view mirror, which we have in other models, is only available on the limited or platinum grades as an option. And as you know, that's a camera that's mounted on the rear hatch that feeds an image to your rear view mirror display so that you have an unencumbered view to what's behind you. So it doesn't matter if you have the Sienna filled up with people or cargo that may be blocking the rear window, you can still have a clear view behind the vehicle with the digital rear view mirror. And then there's another standalone option, and this is available on XLE and up with certain packages already on the vehicle. It's the 1500 watt inverter. So you may remember us talking about this from Prius Prime. It's a really high power inverter that will allow you to plug in a wide variety of items like household appliances. So it's a lot more power than you typically get on an outlet in the car. Usually those will only be maybe 100 or even up to maybe 400 at the most watts. This is 1500 watts, which is plenty of power to run things like even hair dryers or TVs or small appliances from your Sienna. Rear seat entertainment is a standalone option available on XLE and above. I'll talk about that a little more in a second. Spare tire is a standalone option. So Jeremy will mention this when he talks about the battery placement, but there's no spare tire that's standard on 21 Sienna, but it is an option on all grades for 21. And then roof rails are an available option on the lower grades. Of course, they're standard on the 2 upper grades. Let's talk a little bit about interior quickly. We have a new design for the center console. So you notice it's this bridge type console. There's a bunch of cup holders. There are also a bunch of different spots to put your smartphone, which I really enjoy. There are probably 3 or 4 different places that I typically put my smartphone in the console. So there's a lot of functionality and utility and options as far as storage goes. Of course, it has that large space under the bridge where you can store things. I also use that a lot, and it has a very generous center storage console as well. The padding on the center console creates a nice little armrest, so it's very comfortable. And there's 2 wireless charging available. I mentioned this earlier, you now have 4-zone climate control on XLE and higher. So there's a nice new control available, and your second row passengers can choose their temperature and make it individualized in the second row. Another nice improvement is the air conditioning ducts have been made quieter. If you recall, on previous generation Sienna, when you turn on the rear climate control, you'd hear a lot of noise of air flowing through the ducts, but they've quieted that down quite a bit. So again, it's an effort to keep the cabin as quiet as possible. And then finally on interior, there's that third row. Again, I mentioned the mechanism is very similar to last generation. You just grab that large plastic handle and pull it towards you using your body weight, and the third row seat will easily fold down into the floor. And then it's also easy to pull up. So they did create a lighter weight third row seat to help this and made the supporting mechanism more efficient. So I think you'll see a big difference in how easy it is to put the third row seats down, but also to raise them back up. So for performance, I will hand it back over to Jeremy, and he'll take you the rest of the way.
All right, thanks, Brian, and good morning, ladies and gentlemen. So in terms of performance, I'm sure everybody is aware that the Sienna is now 100% hybrid powertrain. So we do have our 2.5-liter dynamic force 4-cylinder engine paired with that hybrid powertrain. It does give us a net horsepower of 245, which is less than the previous generation, at 296, but it doesn't really need more power. With the torque that you get from this hybrid powertrain, it feels like it has more than enough power. And you put it in sport mode, and even ups the power a little bit more. So plenty of power, even though the rating is down a little bit. Of course, it's got increased fuel efficiency, incredible fuel economy, especially when you look at the all-wheel drive model. And we'll get more into that here in a second. Now, the battery placement. One of the things with a minivan is, well, you have a lot of cargo space, but you don't want to compromise that with a hybrid battery pack. We still want the third row seats to be able to fold into the floor, so we have positioned this hybrid battery pack, and it's actually not a very big battery. It's under the floor, kind of under the front seats. So it doesn't take up any space. It's kind of right behind the seats. For that reason, as Brian mentioned, the spare tire is no longer under the vehicle like it used to be previously. There's good news and bad news. So the bad news is that a spare tire is not standard. You get a tire repair kit on all Siennas. The good news is we do offer a factory option of a spare tire, which is located in the rear quarter panel, so kind of in the cargo area in the side. If you pull off the trim panel, that's where the factory optioned spare tire would be. There's a limitation though. You can't put them on all vans. It's only allowed because of weight on 33% of the Siennas. So you may have a customer that wants one, but just be aware that you can't be ordering every van with the factory option of the spare tire. But in regards to that hybrid battery pack, it does have, of course, the 10-year, 150,000-mile battery warranty, just like all of our hybrids now. EPA fuel economy estimates 36 on a front-wheel drive and 35 on the all-wheel drive. So a huge jump in fuel economy from the previous gen, especially for the all-wheel drive model. So only a 1 mile per gallon difference between front-wheel and all-wheel drive. And speaking of all-wheel drive, of course, it's available in all grades now. And it's got that hybrid all-wheel drive system that we see on RAV and Highlander. So it distributes torque to the rear wheels based on driving conditions. And we do that with an electric motor mounted on the rear axle, so there is no drive shaft anymore down the middle of the car. And it's instant torque, and you do have the MID screen that you can display, and it shows when the power is being distributed and how much is going to either the front or rear of the vehicle. A lot of technology in this van, a lot of multimedia stuff. So a 9-inch touchscreen is standard on all grades. There is no more, well, the lower grades get a smaller screen, the bigger grades you get a bigger screen. Everything's the same size, 9-inch. It does have Apple Carplay, which we had previously, but now we have Android Auto and Amazon Alexa in the Sienna. Also a 3-month access, all access trial period for Sirius XM. We have one USB port for the media, so that's to play music or use CarPlay or Android Auto. But then there's 6 USB charging ports throughout the van. So that means pretty much everybody in the van is going to be able to charge a device. And some of them are even USB-C, so the smaller new Apple connectors. Connected services, though, of course, we offer a whole suite of those. Safety Connect is standard for 1-year trial period. Wi-Fi Connect through AT&T is 2 gigabytes or a 3-month trial period. And then on XLE and up, you'll have Remote Connect standard for a 1-year trial. And Service Connect, also on XLE and up, will be a 10-year trial period. So it's going to be complimentary for 10 years on those vans. Rear seat entertainment, of course, a minivan wouldn't be complete without a TV inside. And it is available on the XLE grade and up as an option. It is an 11.6-inch 1080p display, so high resolution. It does fold flat into the ceiling, and it does have infinite tilt adjustment. So in other words, it doesn't just come down and stop in one position. You can adjust the tilt of it to basically any angle if you're experiencing sun glare or something like that. There has been a little bit of confusion with the rear seat entertainment and how to get your content on it, whether it's a movie or video, something you want to stream. So there are 2 different ways you can play a video on the screen. Probably the easiest, and the one I'm going to recommend that you have your customers do, is use the HDMI input on the back of the center console. And this is going to allow you to plug in your phone, your tablet. You could plug in a PlayStation, an Xbox, a DVD player. So pretty much anything you'd plug into your TV at home, it's the same connection. So you'll be able to plug in something. It also has DLNA and Miracast wireless streaming capability. So Miracast, I'm sure if you've got a newer TV, it allows you to kind of wirelessly stream your phone or broadcast what's on your phone to your TV. DLNA is more of an Apple connection, and it does have its limitations, and there's going to be some apps that you have to download or an app for your phone, depending on whether it's Apple or Android, in order to do that. We're trying to get a little bit more clarification. I have actually done it, streamed both Android and Apple devices in a Sienna, but we're trying to get some kind of corporate approved literature and instructions on how best to explain that to a customer. But like I said, it's best if you want to use the HDMI port for an iPhone, for example. You would just get this little adapter. The one thing I have found, if you order it on Amazon and get one of the cheaper ones, it may work, it may not work. I'll just tell you, my experience is it usually doesn't. But if you purchase it from the Apple Store or the Apple website, it's going to be a little bit more expensive. I think it's around $50, but it does work. So that would be my one suggestion for those customers with an iPhone or an iPad. Please make sure you get the Apple approved connector and not just a cheaper one somewhere else. All right, safety. Of course, minivans, you want it to be safe, and Toyota Safety Sense 2.0 will be standard. So we've added those things like lane tracing assist and road sign assist to our Toyota Safety Sense. And it's got the pre-collision system with pedestrian and bicycle detection. And of course, all those other things like full speed dynamic radar cruise, lane departure alert, and automatic high beams. Some additional features. Now 10 standard airbags in Sienna. So where are those extra 2 airbags? Well, they're in the second row side bolster seats, right? So just like the front seats, your driver and front passenger seat have a airbag that protects your kind of side of your body, your chest and shoulder area. Well, we have those same airbags now in the second row seats. For that reason, you can no longer remove the second row seats like we used to be able to. So they are permanently fixed in the vehicle. And on some models, of course, you'd have heated rear seats, and you'd also have the wiring harness for that integrated into the seat. So that's why you can't remove them any longer. But Safety Connect's a 1-year trial, as I said, for all models. We've got latch or the lower anchors and tethers for children. So that's how you connect your child seats in the vehicle. Now, previously, you're a little bit limited. You only really had the latches on the front seats and one in the rear. Now, depending on if it's 7 or 8 passenger models, you can put 5 car seats in, and 7 passenger models, you can put 4 car seats. So a big improvement there. God forbid you have 5 child seats that you need to carry around all day. Tire pressure monitoring system, though, is standard, and rear seat reminder. So should you leave one of those children in the back seat, it will remind you as you're exiting the vehicle. Now, mobility. For years, Toyota was the only automaker to build a factory-built minivan with an auto access seat. And it was a great van. We sold several of them for those in need. However, we're no longer building the mobility van as a factory-built vehicle. Instead, we've partnered with Brawnability and Vantage Mobility International, and they will be able to go ahead and just offer any type of conversion, whether it's a wheelchair ramp, a wheelchair lift, an auto access seat, if they need different controls for the vehicle, maybe hand controls for driving, they can do that as well. And there, of course, if you go on the Toyota Mobility website, there's a lot of information on that, how to direct customers, and also there is some incentives there. We give customers $1,000 toward the purchase of those mobility features if they qualify. And just quickly, just a quick comparison, and there's a lot we could go through here on the Sienna versus the Honda Odyssey. That's our big competitor in this segment. You can see the pricing just depends, if we have the plus package on the LE or not. So we're very close in terms of the price. And we've got a lot of advantages. They're all listed there. Just quickly, the only advantages that the Honda has, they have 37 more horsepower, which if you drove the two vans back to back, you would never know. They don't really feel any different. The Magic Slide second row seat, it's kind of something they've had. It's kind of cool. You can move the middle seat a little bit forward of the two outboard seats of the second row. And they have a 12-way power driver seat and power passenger seat on the EX, where we just have the power driver's seat on the LE. But we've got a lot of advantages. 9-inch touchscreen, hybrid powertrain, 14 more miles per gallon, all-wheel drive, all new TNGA architecture with double wishbone rear suspension, handles phenomenally. I've been driving the XSE, and it feels like I'm driving a Camry. I mean, it just handles so well. It doesn't feel like a large vehicle. 7 USB ports, that's 5 more than the Honda, 10 airbags, which is 2 more than the Honda, plus Toyota Care, and all the available options that you can get on the LE, which, of course, on EX, Odyssey, there are no options available. And if we just look at one more grade, the XLE versus the EXL, pricing-wise, we're a little bit more, but you can see a huge list of advantages from everything from what I mentioned, plus the 3-door kick sensor, the 5-door smart key, front and rear parking assist with automated braking, 4-zone climate control, and they use an 8-inch touchscreen in the Odyssey. Of course, we have the 9-inch standard. Remote connect, smart key on all 5 doors, as I mentioned. 7 USB ports, so that's 3 more than you're going to get in the Honda, and again, that Toyota Care.